about topic in general. Have to be applied marriage. Yes.
When you're married, so you know.
Yes. Anyone that want to ask any question you have? When is that? Yes.
So you mentioned about respecting your father, like the guy came and he was putting his father down a little bit. So since the time of creation, the mother-in-law and the daughter-in-law, the mother-in-law, the son-in-law have never been perfect. So how do you respond or behave or act if the mother-in-law has a remark to the son-in-law or to the daughter-in-law? Sometimes the son-in-law and the daughter-in-law, most of the time daughter-in-law, wants to make a comment back to prove she's wise and smarter with the son-in-law.
Very nice. Beautiful questions. Maybe one day we're going to make a whole class about it. The involvement of parents in our life, and if you can bring the parents as well, I will be happy. If we make balagan, let's make balagan. Third floor, a big shoe, all the questions, and I'm going to start with 30 minutes. The topic is only, we're going to stick on this topic, relationship between parents-in-law and daughter or son-in-law, and what exactly we can do or not do, in general. The Pasuk said, ועזב איש את אביו ואת אמו ודבק באשתו. Meaning, a man and a woman have to remember that the minute that you got married, the highest priority is in your life is your wife and husband. Who is the highest priority? Your wife. That's right. Who is the highest priority in your life? Not your mother. But you're going to ask a question. It's very easy saying. But Rabbi, my mother raised me. My mother brought me to the world. Who is my wife with her chutzpah to talk like this to my mama? The mother that the Torah said clearly that in priority-wise, your husband and wife, this is the only family that you have. Everything else is bonus. Yes, I'm going to touch it. 1 second. This is the basic. The basic we have to understand that if parents interfere in Shalom Bayit, no matter what's the reason, even if your wife is wrong or even if the husband is wrong, they have to be the first priority. Meaning, if the choice between the parents to spouse, you choose the spouse.
Even
Now,
if they're wrong.
choosing,
Even if they're wrong.
you choose your spouse. Now, if this is something that they're completely wrong, meaning jealousy or chutzpah of our generation, yes, in our generation, the daughter-in-law, they are very chutzpaniot. Because mother-in-law, she is much higher from you in age, much older from you, easily 20 years above, and she is the one that brought you your husband or your wife. To disrespect them, you're not allowed. Under any condition, you're not allowed to disrespect. To answer back, you're not allowed under any condition. When the Torah said, Kabed et avicha ve'et imecha, the Gemara said, the word et had nothing to do here. The right way to say is, honoring your father and mother, like in English. You don't say honoring also your father and also your mother. Et is adding. Adding what? Kabed avicha ve'imecha, right? The right way is to say kabed avicha ve'imecha. What is the meaning kabed et avicha ve'et imecha? Come, the Gemara said, et lerabot your father-in-law. Et lerabot your mother-in-law. They included in kibud urim. Can you be chutzpan to your parents? Never. You cannot be chutzpan to your parents. You don't have to be the best friends. You don't have to be buddy, how do you call it? Buddy friends? No. BFF, best friend forever, right? I saw my daughter sending a message. BFF. I said, what is this? Gibberish. I called my friend in the Shabak. He told me, no, don't worry, she's not moving to Daesh or to ISIS. Don't worry, she's still with us. I said, so what's she sending? I called the Mossad, nobody knows. I called the CIA, they know because it's in English. Best friend forever. Now, your mother-in-law do not have to be your best friends forever. Or your father-in-law, okay. But doesn't mean that you can disrespect them under any condition. A person have to do under any condition. You cannot disrespect your parents. You don't have to be there all day long. You don't have to invite your mother all day long to the house, especially if your husband is not happy with this. If your husband is not happy, make sure before he's coming, say hi, you invite to your mother. She doesn't have to be there. And then, if your mother made a smart comment every time he's coming, one time, we're not in camera, right?
It's on camera, it's online.
Okay. No. If you're not working, it's gonna, to ruin Shalom Bayit is taking what? To ruin greater vacation with your wife, that you pay $10,000. You take one extra word that you tell your wife and that's it. The whole vacation is gone. To ruin a perfect Shalom Bayit of 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, that you never argue, life is amazing. One foolish statement from one side, no matter who is the side, can ruin 1 year of Shalom Bayit. Shalom Bayit is very dangerous. Because of that, we have to work and you have to come into Shiurim, trying to come on a weekly basis to get chizuk and chizuk. When exactly you know that this is the time to divorce? Wow, tough questions. When exactly? Rabbi, I'm trying. It's not working. Until when I have to try. Now, first of all, in general, I will tell you that divorce is not something that Judaism and Rabbi Vaknin believe. I don't believe in divorce under any conditions, except, obviously, if we're talking about professional help, physical abuse, serious physical abuse, sickness of physical abuse, drugs, addictions, or alcohol addictions, gambler addictions. These 3 things is something that I don't take lightly. And by the way, from almost 1,000 couples, I never touch these cases. Certain cases I don't touch. Borei Olam is the one that doing Shalom Bayit. Rabbi Vaknin is not expert in anything and everything. When we're talking about addiction, he's not my expert. I'm sorry. I don't touch it. I'm calling him. They're calling me Rabbi Vaknin. I'm sorry. Go to professional. I cannot take risk and give an exam for something that I'm not professional. Regular cases of Shalom Bayit, no problem. But if we're talking about addiction, Houston, we have a problem, a serious problem. I'm not saying that they have to divorce, but definitely they need urgent professional help. Because he's not just going to go. He's not just going to go, and sometimes by, God forbid, divorcing them, you can save the other side life. Or by being aggressive with them, if somebody have addictions to anything, you can save his life. Sometimes to be a nice woman, it doesn't really help. You make the situation much worse. So just in general, I'm not talking about addiction. Addiction is out of the picture, and addiction is a problem. I'm talking about daily fight, daily argument that many of us pass in on a daily basis. Because of that, they call it daily. Every day we have argument, screaming, shouting. Sometimes 1 week direct, sometimes 2 weeks. Sometimes you don't even have the mood to go to the mikveh because what's the point? What's the point of going to the mikveh? We're not talking anywhere. Either the wife or either the man. He said, why I need to go? So, certain things I will teach you on the road. And again, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate. Ask general questions, but today I'm in a good mood. Ezrat Hashem, with Hashem help, please ask. It's not every day that you can get. I know that usually we're talking about such a question in private, but it doesn't have to be private. Asking general questions. The first things I will tell you that divorce is out of the questions. Don't take divorce lightly. Because it's like God forbid, divorcing is like telling God, you made mistakes. And very rare that God is doing mistakes. Our shidduch mishamayim. You didn't choose your husband and your husband didn't choose you. You know who chose your husband? God. God decided to put both of you together. So why do you think that God is wrong? Who gives you the right to think that Binyamin, right? I miss you very much. You look like me, Binyamin. Why not?
Trying.
I see that your wife is pushing you to become a rabbi.
She doesn't want me to cheat.
Yeah?
She doesn't want me to cheat.
Okay. I always love you. He's always straightforward. Now, Yes.
If
It's a fair question, right? It's a fair question. Yes. I didn't answer it yet. It's gonna be yes.
If a couple became Baalei Tshuva and
One of them
the
is
husband,
good question. No, brilliant questions. I want to hear it, but brilliant.
no, the husband wants to learn Torah. Is it an option to go to a kollel in midlife? Is it possible?
First of all, the
I
wife
want him-
approve
I
it.
want him to.
The wife approve it.
Yeah.
Not only the options, the biggest rabbi in the world history, bigger from Moshe Rabbeinu, came out from a kollel and midlife crisis. You know what's his name? Rabbi Akiva, that's it. So, and they have kollelim here and in Israel and Brooklyn, beautiful kollelim. He's gonna get a salary, basic salary, and I know he's not doing it for that, but he's gonna get, and he can be the next chief rabbi of the whole United States and America, not the Bukharian. We have many of them. I'm talking about the whole United States and America. Be'ezrat Hashem. So definitely the answer is yes. Last question I'm going to answer. Last question I'm going to answer is yes, yes. You don't like him to be a rabbi?
You don't like your husband's rabbi.
You don't like your husband rabbis? Very nice, very nice. Fair enough, fair questions. The answer may be, fair question, I love the questions. Because it have many times, the right way is to choose a rabbi that is good for both of you. Meaning a centerpiece rabbi is not a rabbi that the wife or the husband thinking that is too severe, that is too strict, that is easy to judge or something like this. Not that he's bad, is not yet good for the other side. So the best way when people is choosing a rabbi, and again, even though that the rabbi respect have to be, his obligation in the Torah, even greater from the parents. Between a wife and a rabbi, I tell people, choose your wife, don't choose me. Choose your wife. If your wife doesn't like me, I will be happy that you're going to move a different community, and I'm going to see you getting married until 120 and having many children and happy with your wife. Choose your wife, choose your husband. And any obstacles. If your wife tells you not to keep Shabbat, because of that she doesn't like the rabbis, not to keep kashrut, or God forbid, not to keep Taharat HaMishpacha. Taharat HaMishpacha is the only items that nobody can say, do not keep it, because then you have to divorce. You have to divorce. There's no other options. If one of the couple keep Taharat, keep mikveh, and the other one doesn't want to keep it, they have to divorce, right away. No tolerance. This is the only one that is not tolerance. Shabbat, if one of them keeps Shabbat and the other one doesn't break Shabbat in public, he breaks Shabbat in private. He's going to the room and open his phone and she's watching a soap opera. Not necessarily you have to divorce. Slowly you have to give the mood of Shabbat and teaching. Kashrut, not in the house, outside of the house. One of them keep kashrut and the other one eat anything that you want. Not necessarily that you have to, no. You can live like this. Many couples live like this. Taharat HaMishpacha you cannot. You cannot have any relationship without Taharat HaMishpacha. Isur Deoraita, the punishment is in the highest level. The highest level. So it's no tolerance for Taharat HaMishpacha. These things, you cannot compromise. Anything else, you can walk slowly, go up together, beautiful. We all need to go up, definitely Shabbat is crucial, and Kashrut is crucial, I'm not saying that. Tefillin is crucial, Shiur Torah is crucial, Minyan. But if you come and one of you is ballistic against, I do not want to come to Wednesday night. Do not come. Do not come. Choose your wife. Choose your husband. 100%. As much that is difficult and most likely, definitely is wrong, you choose. Yes.
Probably they can watch his live stream from home.
They can watch it from home. I love it. Yes.
Some couples, when they get married, they're not observant. There's
Oh,
nothing
yes.
about religion. Slowly over the years, one of them grows a little bit more than the other. And he becomes a little bit more observant. Shabbat Kashrut, and she doesn't want to grow. She doesn't want to go to mikvah. And it becomes a battle for months. You really going to divorce?
Yeah.
Again, Gabriel, Good question.
God forbid.
Good question.
Of course.
The men that, this is what usually happens, because men, they're very not sincere to the need of the wife. What did I mean? When people become Baalei Teshuvah, right away the man all day long in the synagogues, hearing Shurei Torah, and he doesn't come back to his room, study Torah with his wife. No. He already getting everything that he needs in the synagogues, and for him is enough. With the age, with the month, with the year, the differentiation, the difference between the husband and wife becomes so big. He created it. He didn't come to his wife and say, let's go together, let's go slowly. No. He was flying like Superman, and he left his wife behind. And then one day he wake up in the morning and say, wow, I'm in the mountain and you're in the valley. Wow, how deep you are. You left me over there. Now, a smart way to do is, we hold in hand by hand, and we go together. Now, if under any condition, the wife doesn't want to go to the mikveh, we have to use the Rabbanit. She's expert to convince many secular people to go to the mikveh.
Educate.
After our class, wow, met miracle worker. God will pay you and your children and your husband.
Amazing husband.
נום גנטי, והריקותי לכם ברכה עד בלי די, באושר אגדי, בנחת בעזרת השם, בתורה ובקדושה. יש כאלה גדול להיות חסידים, ירא שמיים ולמדנים, לא תעשה אמן. Hidden conversion.
It's good. It's good. We approve this one.
Now let's go back. Another few minutes. Today I'm in a good mood. We can do it. Lock the door, please. Lock the door. Another 5 minutes, guys. You're gonna stay. Another 5 minutes, please. I know. Today is. Come on. The Rabbanit, look at me. That's it. It was enough. Okay. So, if after all the pressure, she still doesn't want to go to the mikveh under any condition, it's a problem. It's a problem. She will have to understand that the only way out is, if the husband can hold himself 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years, this is easy. But definitely relation is not allowed to do. No, he's not allowed to do relationship. So if he decides to become a tzaddik, Moshe Rabbeinu,
For years, 10 years, 15 years.
if the husband
then
decides,
they grow.
if the husband decides to become Moshe Rabbeinu, it's good. But if not, you have to divorce.
But eventually, a few years later.
No, we cannot wait and listen. He cannot have a minute that he accepts on himself Torah mitzvot. He accepts on himself Nida. A minute that you accept Nida, you cannot, under any condition, have a relationship. According to the Torah, one of the halachot that we teach, I'm not, trying to be rabbis that will send you to Gehenom or something like this. But you have to understand that having a relationship, and I'm sorry to speak so clear, but this is me, being Israelis, we don't want misunderstanding. With a woman, that she is the wife of a human being, that she is Nida, is in the same level of having a relationship with a married woman that she's not your wife. And the punishment is the same punishment. The same level exactly. So it's no tolerance and it's no maybe lenient opinion. No, slowly go up.
Yeah, slowly.
This nice word is good for any tennis except this one. No, this one is not. This one, a woman have to wake up, or a man, much faster. Sometimes the man is the problem. He doesn't want to wife, he doesn't want to keep the other. So,
He doesn't want her
at all
to make money.
Yeah.
We have to have a lot of pressure from other people, not only from the husband. Sometimes the best way is to use, either marriage counselors, religious, either rabbanim or rabbaniyot, either to bring it through love, to come and to have somebody that will talk to the heart of the woman, either to show the movie that they have a movie that's called Mikveh, beautiful movies. And today Mikveh, a woman have to be, it's not like, it's an official spa, the best spa that exists. They made it in purpose that the woman will not feel that she goes to the mikveh. She's going to a spa. Happen to be that they have a pit over there that she have to dip three times and she's going away. But this is happened to be. All the setup and all the systems and all the is a spa. Let's go back. When exactly you know that you have to divorce? So I said divorce is out of the questions. Divorce is something that the person has to take very seriously. Especially if you have children, your children will pay, the children of a human being will pay forever for God forbid divorce. You ruin their life and nobody gave you the right to ruin their life. Meaning, you have to try and to work hard, as hard as you. Most of the problem is lack of communication. Lack of communication is number one rules and regulation that destroy marriage. You don't understand what you want, and she doesn't understand what you want. So let's start to work, and I was speaking. Let's spend time together. Go out and spend time together. Walking to the shiur and not driving, because when you're walking, you have 20 minutes to 30 minutes that you can speak with your wife. And these times, when you're speaking to your wife, don't speak about nonsense. Ask your wife what exactly she wants to see in this relationship. Ask your husband. Get to know each other. Slowly, you're going to become better and better in this relationship. Slowly, you're going to know what bothers your wife, what bothers your husband, or what not. What made your wife happy, or what not. How many times we buy a gift that your wife looked at you and said, what's the connection to this gift? I told you 20 times I hate it. How many times? And he said, I don't understand, I spent so much money. He's taking you to a vacation to the place that you went already, and you hate this place. And he spent so much money, and you get offended. I don't understand, but I give it to you to enjoy it. Yes, but I told you that I don't need it, why you doing it? We have to be, communication starts by asking the others and getting to know each other. Very soon we're going to do a class, and I hope that it's going to be a full class in the big rooms, that we're going to give each one of you to sit in your own tables, and each one of you is going to get questions, and you're going to have to answer. And the question is details and private questions that you're going to get to know each other. Get to know your husband. Get to know your wife. Communication is very easy to work if you just want it. If you just want to understand that your wife is not like you, she doesn't think like you, and your husband is not like you, he doesn't think. You think like a husband, and you think like a wife. So how that the husband is thinking? Start to study it. How that the husband, when a husband buy expensive car, when he's working very hard for his money, do not ruin it. What do? A minute that he come out on you to buy this car, you ruin all his excitement. Why do you do it? He enjoy. Give him at least one day, 24 hours to enjoy it. After that, you have a comment. But we cannot hold it. We have to ruin everything good. He is already going to Vegas. He is already going because they have a business trip. Now, because of business, you tell them yes, and the whole week you give him sour face. Now, you told them yes, he's going to go with a sour face, you kill it, you didn't get anything. If you let them go, let them go. Let them go with a smile. Get to know the needs of your husband. Have friends that you want to spend time. Minimize it, but do not kill it. Men need friends. The same way that women need friends.
Boys time.
You know, we need friends. We need to hang up sometimes. Do not kill it. Minimize it. 1 day a week, 2 days, whatever you can. But do not kill it. Again, get to know each other. If you're gonna get to know each other. And you're not gonna compare between your spouse to anyone else. Number one, and I repeat it many times, one of the lectures that we get from the 10 Commandments is Lo yeh lecha elokim acharei, meaning do not compare your wife to any other woman. Do not compare your husband to any other man, because your husband is your husband and your wife is your wife. Number one mistakes that we're doing, and communication. Communication is number one problem. And number one problem in communication is comparing. We always compare. Every time we want to give a message, the message has to come with comparison. You see, compared to why you don't buy flowers like your friends every Friday is giving, and you're stingy. Why you cannot tell me why you don't buy flowers? Why do you have to mention my friends? A minute that you mention somebody else, you ruin the message.
You kill them.
You kill it, that's it. You kill them and you kill the message. You will definitely not going to buy for the next 6 months. Because he's not his friends. He's somebody
I
else.
appreciate it.
So remember
Or she.
that it's all about communication. With right communication, we're going to teach it slowly how exactly we create right communication. You can achieve so much. The Almighty God will give all of you. Thank you very much for staying extra 20 minutes. But God will pay you B'ezrat Hashem for having extra 20 years of your life. Whatever you need to have, having 20 years of your life with happiness, shalom bayit, ahava, v'achva, shalom, Let us say amen.
Amen.